Hello, good morning. This is Zena Krogodal, your American Dream Makers host. For today, I have a guest this morning, and I'm excited to introduce him to you now. If you are watching this live, please be sure to share this and like the page American Dream Makers on Facebook and also YouTube. Like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it so we can get the message out so that other people's American dreams can come true. That is what this show is all about, to just inspire, to impact, and transform lives. So, without further ado, I am going to play my intro video and we will get started. So I'm back, and so Adam Nance is my guest today, and he is a fantastic guy. He is a veteran, and he is out there helping other veterans, and so I can't wait to bring him on so that you can hear all about what he is doing. Here he is. Hi, Adam.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, thanks for being on. I know you are a busy fella and you are doing some amazing things out in our community here in Prescott. And I just want to let everybody know what you're doing. So please tell us about yourself.
So, my name is Adam Nance, and unfortunately, I'm about to turn 41 this year, so I'm feeling kind of old. But yeah, we live up in the Prescott area in Arizona, and originally I'm from Pennsylvania. And when 9/11 did happen, I joined the Marine Corps and was fortunate enough to get stationed out in Camp Pendleton on the beach, Del Mar, interrupted a couple of times by going to Iraq. Other than that, it was a great duty station. As I was getting out of the Marine Corps, I transitioned into training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I've been doing it for over 20 years now. It's something that I got into in the Marine Corps McMAP program, and it was something for me to relieve stress and anxiety and stuff like that. So I'm really happy to have had that outlet. And right now it's me and my wife. We got affiliated on Twitch, which means we started getting paid for playing video games, which is going actually to our foundation. So yeah, we get to hang out, not only run the foundation together, but we play video games in our spare time, and we get to raise money for veterans. And so that's a little bit about me. And I want to thank you so much for having me on.
Yes, we're excited. So then tell us, how did you get involved with Lower 22 Foundation?
So unfortunately, got into it because I've had several people that I've served with make that final decision. And so I wanted to do something that tried to help connect us in a better way. And so me and my wife developed an app for veterans specifically. That way they have a place to go, unlike Facebook or Instagram where everybody's in there. Ours is specifically for veterans and active duty, and it's really to show our appreciation and to keep them connected, because regardless if you leave after 4 years or if you stay in for 20 plus, you eventually transition back out into the civilian world, and there's no way of really staying connected with those people that we've created those deep bonds with, when realistically it's less than 1% of the population has ever served. So when we go back from our duty stations, like me kicking it on the beach in Del Mar, to I went back to Pennsylvania for a little bit, and I didn't know anybody. Like there was no way knowing other veterans are around, and at the time the VFW wasn't even on my radar. So me and my wife, we got together, and she is super smart, and she comes up with like a lot of great technical history and background. So we created an app specifically to try to keep people connected that served.
Wow. That's great. Well, first of all, thank you for your service and your sacrifice. And I actually, I guess, lived in Camp Pendleton for 6 months when we first came to the country. So, so when I hear Camp Pendleton, I'm like, I was there. I don't remember it, but I was there. So, yes, thank you so much for your sacrifice and service, and my condolences to you that you lost friends. Can you also tell us where the number 22 comes from and why you named it Lower 22 Foundation?
Absolutely. So the number 22 comes from, I mean, if we're being honest, outdated data. That's statistically what people refer to as the amount of veterans that commit suicide each day. And so, depending on who you ask, that number varies drastically. And there have been independent reports from, I want to say, Yale and Duke. I'm not 100% sure, so that could be. But there was two independent studies done, and the number is more like 44 veterans a day that kill themselves.
Wow. So the number's higher than the 22.
Right, and our goal is, just to try to let somebody know that we're there and lower it by as much as we can.
Okay. Wow. I didn't realize that that some of the numbers had it even higher. And like you said, it must be because I had heard that it was lower, and but I would imagine with even COVID hitting, it seemed like the suicide went up higher, not just for veterans, but among everyone else as well. So I think a lot of
Right.
people have definitely been struggling, but especially our veterans. And what we've also seen with the housing prices going up, the rent going up, we've also seen more homeless veterans. Is that what you're seeing and hearing as well?
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that that is the situation that seems to be going on. And you know, there are great organizations that I've been in contact with on Instagram that try to help solve that crisis as well on the veteran end, is to try to help end homelessness with veterans. So there are great groups out there specifically trying to make sure that that can be attempted and happen.
So what? So you got an app for the veterans to stay connected.
Yep.
What other resources is out there for veterans?
Actually, and like I said this a little bit earlier, the VFW was never really like on my radar. I don't even know if it's just mine or my generation, because like the people that I still keep in contact with that I served with, you know, they don't even really get out to the VFW. But I'm going to shout out the Mingus Mountain Post 10227 out in Prescott Valley. Those guys are phenomenal. Like, it's a beautiful establishment. They welcome me in with open arms, and like it's so cool to see older people literally do what I'm trying to accomplish, and that's live a whole life after serving. And these guys are, I wash dishes for one guy, Lou. He's like, yeah, I'm 78. I'm like, why are you cooking all the time here? He's like, I like doing it. I'm like, crap, I can't not wash dishes now. I'm like, I'm getting outworked by a 78-year-old man that served in Vietnam. So I'm like, okay, there's no complaining on my end now. So that has been a great resource for me. I've heard good things about the American Legion, but getting in one of those organizations like that has been super positively impactful on my life, because it's, once again, it's serving a purpose for somebody who I, on a small scale, empathize with. Because like I said, I'm the youngest one in there by like 30 years. And like all these guys were in Vietnam, Korea. We still have actually two World War II vets that are still a part of the VFW. And so like the history is just crazy amazing. And to know what they actually went through back then, because Vietnam Day is coming up on the 29th, and I think tomorrow is like the last when the last POWs were released back like 50 years ago.
Mm.
But it's all that kind of knowledge that I get to hear firsthand. And like, they're like, yeah, it was bad. I'm like, my time really wasn't. Like, it was like, it wasn't pleasant, but compared to these guys, whoo. So it gives me like that breath of fresh air and that life again, hanging out with them.
Oh, that's great. So you get that sense of purpose, sense of camaraderie is what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. Like tonight, they're doing ribs, and it's actually Lou who's cooking all the ribs. We do about 75 ribs in 45 minutes because it's just, and I go out there and I serve and take plates and wash the dishes. And it's just, it's fun to see this older generation still, thriving.
Yeah, that's great. So with that the VFW, is anyone allowed to come have a meal with you, or or are there certain requirements? You have to be a veteran, you have to be are there certain requirements for it?
So to go and eat at the VFW, anybody can do it. Anybody can go in there and get a nice cheeseburger, some wings, some fries, and stuff like that. If you want to have a adult beverage, you have to be basically just signed in by one of the members taking responsibility for you.
Okay.
Other than that, there's the Friday night dinners are always open to the public, and we would love to see the public down there more because, like I said, all these guys are profiting off of these ribs, and I want to make sure that they get more and like get the community out there because it's crazy good. And I don't even like ribs.
Well, I might have to come down there tonight. You make it sound really good, and I didn't know that it was open to just anybody
Yeah,
either. So that's fantastic news, and that's nice to know. So how long have you and your wife lived here in the Prescott area?
we've been here right as soon as right as soon as the pandemic shut everything down because I remember I got a U-Haul truck that day and then there was no help and I was like, "Oh, I got to move everything myself." And so I remember we lived so it was right about 2020, February 2020.
Mhm.
And I love it up here. I don't know why more like I don't okay, this is sounding I love the area. I don't know why more people don't want to live up here. I don't necessarily want more people up here because it's really nice and beautiful. But man, like this is what I always wanted Arizona to be. Like we get the seasons. You got snow this morning. We got rain. Like and we like it's so beautiful up here, and like we get to enjoy the summer. We were down in Chandler for 6 years before that, and it was hot. And so like the last 3 years have probably been like the funnest years of living in Arizona for us.
That's great. So you were down in the valley?
Yeah, we were down in the valley for about 6 years.
Okay. And so you were in the service for how long?
I was in the service. Ooh, now you're aging me. I was back in the service from 2002 to 2006. So I was 4 years.
Wonderful. Wow. And Marine, no less.
Yes,
Whoa. Semper Fi, right?
number five. Yep.
And you're always a Marine. So when you take your oath, it never expires.
Right. We try to keep those ethos that we learned in boot camp and everything, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this foundation is to keep up a sense of purpose for having those ethos. The honor, courage, and commitment. Like it still runs true.
Which is also probably why you're seeing those fellas and ladies. There's a few ladies, veterans, right? Are there some female veterans at the VFW?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Vicky's down there
Oh,
from Vicky's book. Yeah. So she hangs out there. I'm trying to get the new guy that does the merchant services to come on down there. I try to tell everybody about that VFW because, well, back end, like in a couple months, they're gonna put me up for quartermaster election. So I want more people in there, anyways. But no, like that was when I went to the VFW. I was honestly expecting like 1980s Rambo style, like decor and atmosphere and smoky and hazy and all that stuff. And like I walked in and it was like an updated, beautiful building with nice stuff going. I was like, man, like I walked into a gold mine at that VFW on just how it blew my expectations away. And so, yeah, I love being down there. I love telling people about that place.
That's great. So what I was gonna getting at was that with your honor, courage, and commitment, that's why you're seeing so many still serving others, because that is ingrained in the veterans who have been able to overcome the struggles of coming back from serving in the military and then into civilian life. Is It's a tough transition from what I understand, and definitely have seen some friends really struggle with that, because it's going from one world to a whole different one and adjusting to everything, and especially if you were in combat. But even non-combat veterans have a hard time adjusting from military life to civilian life. But once you get over that hurdle and able to overcome, what I have observed is that veterans do thrive, and finding that sense of purpose, and part of finding that sense of purpose seems to be the common factor, is serving others. Would you say that that's what you've observed, or have you observed anything else in addition to that?
Oh, like that's spot on. Like these guys and girls down there, like we have one TV dedicated to just rolling pictures of what they like doing for the community, and like all the flag days. That's the VFW down there in Prescott Valley, setting out all those flags for everybody passing. Like on Memorial Day, they're out there. These once again, these 70, 80, 85-year-old individuals are out there at 5:36 a.m. planting flags for people. I'm like, so it's just shocking, and like, and that's their sense of purpose. Like, man, they want to do it. When we have poppy drives, when we go and sit out in front of the grocery stores and Walmart and stuff like that, man, I got to do poppies for the first time this year, and it was amazing. Like, and these people just love doing it to try to, like, poppy specifically is to help other veterans that are struggling. Like if you can't afford 4 tires, we raise money on the back end, and they can come in and, hey, I need a tank of gas. We got you. So,
That's so wonderful to hear, that we've got such a community that comes together and helps to fill each other's needs. And Prescott, we have about 18% veterans in our community, and one of the highest capita um, veteran per capita in I think in the country, from what I understand, definitely in.
yeah, I think you're right on. I think Prescott Valley, the Tri-City area is like the highest populace of veterans around the states.
And so, since you've been here since 2020, knowing all that, what have you observed being a veteran and coming into a community that has a high veteran per capita? What have you observed here? You've talked about the VFW, but what else have you observed in the community that seems to help our veterans, or um, the resources that we have?
Honestly, like the VA that the Prescott has, they're a very good organization. Like when it comes to certain things, like I had 2 spinal fusions. I have 6 screws, 2 pins, and a cage wrapped around my lower spine. I got 4 screws and a donut in my neck. And honestly, like I can't complain about the level of service I got from the VA. Like it's been truly fantastic. Like I've gotten hooked up with an excellent physical therapist, and so the VA up here for that side of it is just absolutely tremendous. Like I can't say enough. Like my doctor, I feel like she listens to me. We don't always come to the same agreement, but I feel like she actually listens, which I've experienced at other clinics that haven't even had that. And so that right there, I feel is one thing. I know that the Prescott Chamber helps out the quarterly business mixers for veterans and stuff like that. So it's a great way to get in contact with other veterans. Like the last one was at 4x4 Summit, and getting to meet all these local businesses and small business. They're not, but like small, but that's been really awesome to have those kind of opportunities, because the Prescott Chamber doesn't like, they do a good job of promoting those events.
Yeah, they
So
do. They do. Their events tend to be very well attended. Every time I've gone to one, there's lots of people there, and it is nice that we have the veteran quarterly mixers for sure.
yeah,
So Lower 22 Foundation, you've got some events coming up to
yes,
fulfill your mission. So can you tell
yes.
us your mission and what those events are?
All right. So our mission is really to connect veterans. Our mission is to streamline that connection and promote other veteran organizations. And so we are having our first event in May on the 27th at the Wheelhouse in Prescott Valley. They were tremendous enough to open their place up to us. So thank you so much to them, Charlie and Sarah. I appreciate that. So we're going to have a skate or run Puckapalooza. They have two indoor skating or indoor hockey rinks, and we're going to have a skills challenge that people can win prizes if they got, if they're avidly involved with skating, or if they just want to run. We're going to have separate divisions for kids and adults. So that's going to be part of it. We're going to have food trucks. I'm getting live bands, and we're trying to raise money specifically to help a veteran organization out in Albuquerque, New Mexico called Hockey with Valor. It's a disabled veteran hockey organization that, they need funding for equipment, and hockey equipment is not cheap. And I met these people over Instagram. They invited me on out. I had a blast playing sled hockey, and like there was like 12 and 15-year-old kids on these sled hockey things just absolutely crushing me. And I wanted to do something to help his program just explode. So we're holding this event to try to get them equipped and outfitted with everything that they need to get a team up and running. We're also trying to raise money for our foundation and get more gifts for veterans and thank yous to show veterans that we do appreciate them, and we take care of our own. And also youth hockey in Prescott Valley and Prescott, because Brian Purcell from Sheridan Property Group, he's co-hosting this with me, and he was really big into inline hockey, and he really wants to give back to the community. And he was an Air Force veteran. He was over in Afghanistan and everything like that. So we came together to really put this on for the whole community.
That sounds like an awesome event. So if somebody wants to get involved, what specifically are you looking for that event? What do you need to
Oh,
get that event going?
we're still looking for vendors and sponsors that want to have tables, and it's not just going to be normal. You guys are going to be in the rink actually hanging out with everybody who does the skills challenge. We're specifically looking for those. We're also looking for monetary donations. If you want to give us money so we can go ahead and get more prizes for the skating events, that would be terrific. And if you just want to donate hockey equipment, we need to get these people outfitted. So whatever we can do to get this organization up and going, you can contact me at admin@lower22vets.com. And my phone number is 928-350-7062.
Oh, that's great. So I've got Adam's contact information on the screen there. So please be sure, yes, please be sure to get a hold of him. This sounds like a really fun event for a great cause. and we definitely
We're
want
trying to get puppies. I don't know if that helps, but we're trying to get puppies out there. I'm trying to get the any kind of shelter that wants to come up and have puppies and kitties for donation. That's what really sells people.
really the
No, but yeah, seriously, I am. I reached out to a couple of places, waiting to hear back. I'm trying to get animal shelters there so that way we can get some puppies adopted.
Wow, well, that's fantastic. I would think somebody's gonna jump on it. Sounds like a great fundraiser, a great opportunity, and a fun time. And not only that, but if you haven't gone to see the Wheelhouse, that is an amazing facility. I'm just so proud to be part of our community here. There's so many people who have such a giving, caring heart and want to see our community thrive. And that Wheelhouse is definitely a game changer for the kids in the area to have a place, a safe place to hang out and there's so many things. So definitely come out and check it out. Talk to Adam and get involved and anything that you can spare, please just send it his way. Even if it's $5, $10, $20, more is better. But if you don't have that, that's okay. We understand. But even just a little bit helps for sure. When when we do these fundraisers, it takes a lot, as you can hear. Adam's already stated, a lot of people involved, and so anyways, I want you to be sure to get a hold of Adam Nance. He is doing amazing things for veterans. He's an amazing veteran himself. Is your wife also a veteran?
No, but she was fortunate enough to been married to two Marines, so yay her.
Well, that's great. Yes, she's a trooper. I would be excited to meet her because that means she's a tough cookie. So and were you guys married when you were in the service?
No, I met her after I got out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking your time to be here with us this morning. You gave us a lot of insight to your vision for Lower 22 vets and very excited for your fundraiser. So Adam, have a wonderful, blessed day. Go out there, keep fighting the good fight, sir. And then hopefully I will see you down at the VFW because like I said, I had no idea that it was for non-vets. So I'm glad that you stated that and maybe we can fill the place because my goodness, sounds like some great cooking.
Oh, lose on it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, guys. Thank you so much. Please help Adam and Lower 22 Vets out and share this video. We want to get the word out and get our community involved and get some fun so that so we can save some veterans' lives. So have a wonderful, blessed day, y'all. I had to throw that in a little bit. So have a great day.